Hi guys, so I really wanted to make this video because I already tweeted about this and some of you might know about it, but I wanted to sort of tell the story and let you all know about it because it was so cool and it was hilarious and just very strange. Okay, so I was in the city shopping the other day in Soho and I went to eat at Mercer Kitchen, and so my friend and I, we had reservations for 6:15. But we were shopping and we were there like all day, so, and it was really hot. It was like 100 degrees. So we were done shopping at like 3:30, so we were like, we didn't want to go, because we stayed overnight, so we didn't want to go all the way back to the hotel, so we decided to just stay. And we were like in and out of stores trying to get air conditioning, and we were like, there's no way that we're going to last till 6:15 just doing nothing. Like, we should just go earlier. So we didn't know how early to go. And we were trying to debate when we should go and all this stuff, and it was really like complete chance when we got there. We went in some stores, we killed as much time as we could, and it was around, I think it was around 5:30 that we got to the Mercer Kitchen to eat. So it was pretty early, and so we went there, and the lady told us to go downstairs to the hostess downstairs, so we went down there, and it was really empty. Of course, if you've been to Mercer Kitchen, you know that it looks so cool downstairs when you eat. Like, it's definitely one of the nicest restaurants in the city, and it just looks awesome. And so there was nobody really down there eating because it was like 5:30, really early to eat. All the tables were empty. All the tables were empty except for one. And there aren't just tables, there are like booths, and then there are chairs like across it, you know what I mean? So we go to the hostess and we're like, oh yeah, our reservation, we're here early, whatever. So she's like, okay, you can sit at the bar and we'll let you know when your table's ready. So I'm like, okay, there's nobody here. How is there not a table ready when there are like tons of tables, nobody's even here? So whatever, I didn't think anything of it. I'd never been here before. I know that this place is like a nice place and celebrities go, whatever. So I was just like, whatever, maybe they just, you know, this is an Applebee's. So I sat at the bar. I wasn't facing the bar, I was facing out at the, you know, the tables and stuff because I wanted to look around. So I noticed that there is somebody sitting at like, he's sitting at like the booth part, and then there's a table, and then there's, or actually it was like a corner booth, so whatever. They're at like a booth, and they're literally like a few feet away from me because the bar, they were sitting like close to the bar. So they're a few feet away from me, and there's this guy there with this lady, and I'm looking and I'm like, you know, I look and I look at him and I'm like, it looks like Kanye West. So I say to my friend as a joke, I'm like, I didn't actually think it was him. So I was like, that looks like Kanye West. And she was like, yeah, kinda, huh. And we're just like, haha, imagine. And so then we're just sitting there and I keep looking at him because I'm like, I swear to God, that looks like Kanye West. Like, I'm looking at him and he's wearing like a white t-shirt and he's completely like sprawled across the seat, you know. He's certainly not sitting up or anything. He's like, you know, he owns the booth. And so I keep looking and I'm like, I swear that is Kanye West. And he's eating his food and everything, and he definitely sees me looking at him because I'll look at him and he'll look back at me and I'll be like, because like, even if it's not him, it's still awkward to like stare at somebody. So me and my friend keep looking at him. We keep like, I try to convince her, I'm like, I really think it's him. And she's like, no, it's not him. I'm like, I really think it is. And I'm like, but it's 5:30. Why would he be here at 5:30? But then I'm like, why aren't we sitting down? Because there are a bunch of tables there and we're not sitting down. So then these three other ladies sit down next to me at the bar. And so they're talking to each other. They're completely oblivious. They're just like, oh, whatever. And so they're facing the bar. So they have no idea what's going on. So I say to her, I'm like, that is Kanye West. I am 100% certain. Like, I am positive that that is Kanye West. It looks exactly like him. So I tell her, and she's still like skeptical. She's like, no, it's not. It doesn't really, I don't think it's him. So then I'm like, should I ask somebody? Should I, like, because I didn't want to ask somebody, and then, because they get a lot of celebrities at Mercer Kitchen a lot, so it's like not news to them that, I don't know, I just didn't want to be like, oh, is that a celebrity? But I did think it was weird that he would be there so early. So I was trying to think of what to say, and I was going to ask somebody that worked there. I was going to be like, is that Kanye West? But I didn't want to say that, so I was thinking what to say. So then the bartender is like talking to the other people or whatever, and so I asked him a question like, how long do you think until we're going to be seated, just because like there's nobody sitting anywhere? And he was like, it'll be maybe like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I have another question. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, and I look over and I'm like, do any celebrities ever come here? And he looks at Kanye West And he looks back and he's like, you know, smirking, and he's like, actually, there's one in the house right now. And I'm like, I thought so. So it was Kanye West, and then me and my friend silently freaked out, and we were like, oh my god, because it's Kanye West, like, holy crap, that's just crazy. The fact that Kanye West was sitting feet from me, and we weren't even supposed to be there. We were supposed to be there at 6:15, like, it was just so weird. It was crazy. So then I realized that the reason that we weren't sitting was probably because they didn't want anybody to sit when Kanye West was sitting, and we got to, like, watch Kanye West, so, and he definitely kept, like, looking at us and whatever. But, I mean, what does he expect? He's famous, and we know who he is, and we didn't go up to him. I refused, and on Twitter, everybody was like, go take a picture of him, go take a picture of him. You don't understand, like, he was so close to us, and he was facing me, so there was no way that I could take my phone and take a picture of him. And there was no way that I was going to go up to him because it's Kanye West, and he would probably smack me in the face. I really think that he would. So then we finally were seated, and we were seated not really close to him, but whatever. Like, it was kind of close, but not close enough. So I asked the lady if she could put us, like, against the wall where he was. So she was like, and she looked at the other lady, and they were like, because they knew that I was asking because Kanye West was sitting there. So I was like, and they're like, we'll go check. And so then it was like 5 minutes later, and I'm like, they're just waiting for him to finish his food and leave. So they come back and they seat us 2 seats away from Kanye West. And so, of course, like 5 minutes later, he left. But it was still crazy. And so we were sitting there, and I wanted to sit there anyway, just because it was nicer over there. So he's eating, and they bring him more food or whatever. And then he gets up, and he leaves, and he goes out like this back way. It wasn't like the normal way you leave or go in. And so that is my story, and it was absolutely insane and crazy and weird. Why does this stuff happen to me? I don't know. But, I mean, the odds of us catching him when he was there are not, like, I would have been there at 6:15, so it's, like, weird that I picked the right time to be there to see him. And he went right before everybody got there, because once he left, it got pretty crowded, and of course, everybody was seated. So yeah, it was just like a crazy thing that happened to me, and I wanted to tell you because I find it very fascinating and funny, and I would want somebody to make a video about it if this happened to them. So that's what I did. Okay, that's it. Bye.